Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. Hope you're doing well. All right, so we just came off our third quarter Mastermind event for Syndicate 9 Mastermind, and there was one huge topic that made the big impact that I want to talk about in this video, and that is how to optimize this KPI. It's leads per deal, how many leads it takes to get a deal. I'm actually going to take you into this calculator right here. It's a sales velocity calculator, and it's going to show you exactly what the importance of leads per deal is to your overall revenue, your top line revenue. And I'm going to talk about 4-5 different ways you can optimize that specific basically keyword, your KPI, so you can go out and generate more revenue. So let's get into it.
I can't take no loss, yeah. I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground and it go off, yeah. Hit the ground and it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my
All right, so what is sales velocity calculator? What is the sales velocity calculator? What we're going to do is look at current KPIs. We'll talk about these KPIs in a second, and optimize KPIs. So if you're not familiar with sales velocity, it's the speed of money, actually. So it's you take the opportunities or leads in our business times the deal value or our average deal size, and the closing percentage of your deals, and you divide that by the length of your sales cycle or the closing cycle. So how long it takes for you to close a transaction, and that becomes your sales velocity number of revenue, and it's right here. So these are my current KPIs. So what you do is you put your current KPIs in here, and then we have optimized KPIs of what that looks like. And what we talked about in our Syndicate 9 Mastermind meeting here is what it would take, what happens when we optimize, or what we have to do to optimize these individual numbers, and what it does to the bottom line. So this right here is a leads per month, right? This right here is average deal size. This is our average deal size. Leads per deal is 27. Now, this number is just okay. It's not great, but it's just okay. Closing percentage is 57%. Now, there are some people in our mastermind that had closing percentages of 22%, and some that had closing percentage of 68%. So we talked about the difference in what it does to the bottom line. And then this is closing, average days to close. So contract to close. So you get a property under contract. What is that time frame until you actually get money? Ours is about 50 days, and these are all KPIs. So we're going to focus in on leads per deal. This number right here, leads per deal, and what it does to the bottom line. So if I take this and if we modify this number, you'll see what happens to this right here: percent increase and amount increase. So first off, how do you calculate what leads per deal is? So it's the amount of leads you get, okay? And that is all leads. So from a company standpoint, we generate leads, and these leads could come from cold call leads. It could come from direct mail. It could come from pay-per-click advertising in Google. So there's all leads that come in, right? And then there's you give these leads to reps, sales rep, acquisition team, and then they're going to take these leads and they're going to talk to sellers, make offers, get properties under contract, and they have a sales process that they're going to follow. And they're going to either get contracts or not, right? And if we give a certain amount of leads to a rep, we expect a certain amount of contracts that are going to come back. Now, it's interesting though, each rep has a different leads per deal. We have some reps that have 25 leads per deal, some reps that have 15 leads per deal. So what we can do is we can look at all the same leads, right? They all get the same lead source, style, everything, whether they're viable or non-viable, or they're good leads or bad leads, they get all the leads. And then what happens is how they convert those leads or their sales process, what they're saying, their follow-up, all that type of stuff will generate a leads per deal, which is critically important. I'll show you here in a second. So this number that we're talking about right here, 27, is essentially my overall company leads per deal, meaning a company generate leads. And now we're going to spend money on those leads. And that's a cost per lead, right? So we're going to spend money on the lead. We're going to cost per lead. We'll talk about that. That's profitability and stuff like that. But we're going to talk about now that we've generated the leads, what these guys actually do with these leads is critical, and that's the leads per deal. So we go back into it, and we go. This is basically conversion. What they're doing, they're converting their numbers. So, for example, some of the top performers in our mastermind, their leads per deal were 19. So let's see what happens if I take this down from 27 to 19 and I change it by 8 points. 8 points, 19. And now watch the increase, right? So that alone was a 42% increase, and it was a $1.9 million raise. Same amount of leads, same deal size, right? Conversion, sales process, same closing percentage, same timeline. $1.9 million difference because of what that does to the bottom line. So now we can go in and we can start. Actually all these numbers we can do little tweaks to them, like timeline and closing percentage, and and especially if you stack on, you put more leads coming into your business on a monthly basis. Amazing. But what happens is people go, okay, listen, I just want to generate more leads. But if you generate more leads and you're not optimized, you're going to blow up. So the goal is to make sure you're optimized. Once you're optimized and these numbers are optimized, your closing percentage, your closing timeline, your leads per deal, your average deal size, once those are optimized, then you can press and add more leads. And what happens is you're going to exponentially grow. So that's what we talked about in the Syndicate 9. So let's talk about how to impact the leads per deal. How can you increase or actually decrease your leads per deal from like 27 down to 19? Now, if you don't know these KPIs, I highly suggest you start tracking it. What's your average deal size, your leads per deal, your closing percentage, in your timeline, and how many leads you're getting on a monthly basis. If you know this, you can put your current, and then we can say, okay, let's optimize it, and you can see what the increase is. And even if you do this on a smaller scale and you go, okay, hey, listen, I want to do 200 leads a month, and this is all the same thing, right? And you go 200 leads a month, right? Well, and that's still right there, 900,000 to 1.3. That's a $386,000 difference with a better closing percentage. Well, what if you're getting 100 deals a month? It doesn't matter. 100 leads a month. Well, still, now you're making 459,000 versus 1.3. Isn't that insane? Look at it's like crazy. What if you get 50 leads a month? 50 leads a month, right? That's a one-man show. That's you doing stuff yourself. You can generate by yourself 50 leads a month at 29,000 average deal size. Right here, 19 leads per deal. You make $326,000 by yourself, closing 11 deals a year. And it's a $100,000 increase in revenue if you're only generating 50 leads a month. So this is why I love this calculator, because it shows you a prediction based upon your numbers, what you can expect annually. And what you got to do is we track our numbers literally on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a quarterly basis. And I'm always asking my team, what can we do to get better? And we're tracking individually all of our different reps on their leads per deal. All right, so enough of that. Let's talk about how now to optimize these optimize. So if we talk about optimization, right? Well, first off, we got viability percentage, sales process, selling retail versus wholesale. That will increase your average deal size, and it will increase your closing percentage because you can offer more. Your follow-up procedure, and look at your Google reviews and BBB reviews, and make sure you have legitimate website and pictures. So Let's talk about the first one, viability percentage. Viability percentage is if you look at all your leads that you have, which ones are viable and which are non-viable. Non-viable, and let me tell you what a non-viable is, and then you can get your viability. Non-viable is spam, right? Properties that we do mobile home without land, that's non-viable. Or because we market nationwide, properties in the middle of nowhere we can't do anything with. So if you have those, or just like maybe wrong address or something doesn't work. So those would be non-viable. Everything else, okay, the other one is wholesalers, like you guys, right? You guys going out there looking at all the stuff and you create leads, but you are essentially non-viable, unless you might want to do a JV deal or something like that. But the bottom line is those would be the non-viables, right? Other wholesalers. Listed properties are in the viability. They're actually viable because they do come back around. If they fall off a listing, they don't sell. And then that could become an opportunity. They get desperate, they want to sell. So we keep those in the viability category, and we do follow up those over time. So that's basically non-viable. If you know non-viable, then guess what? You can increase your viability percentage by you're targeting your Google AdWords, and that's another whole, depending on marketing source. If you're cold calling, you can improve your list that you're targeting. You can get a more distressed list you're targeting for cold calling. If you're you're doing pay-per-click or Bing, it's looking at your search terms and making sure your search terms, and also tracking which keyword is producing a deal. That's critically important. If you can map that process, you can know exactly which keyword that someone is searching and typing in that's producing revenue. That will eliminate all the fluff, and you only can pay for what's actually producing revenue. Now, the next one, sales process. Sales process is the process when you're talking, and we have a 4-step sales process that we go through. Again, I have other videos for that, but essentially what it is, we go through a deep dive. Then we go, we're talking about, building rapport, finding about the property, get the first and second asking price. We do a set. We go and do our due diligence. So we set a time to get back on the phone with them in 15 to 30 minutes. Then in that set, we do through our due diligence, and our step number 3 is we pull all of our numbers, and step 4 is the actual close. We get back on the phone with them 15 and 30 minutes, and we go through a close. And either they're in, they're out. We have calculators that we go through to make offers. So that's our process, and refining that process is critically important of what that looks like. So the next part is selling retail. What does that mean? Well, instead of selling your property to a cash buyer, we sell our properties to retail conventional buyers, someone using a conventional loan, FHA loan, VA loan, or whatever. And if you do that, you can offer more to the seller, thus signing more contracts, thus reducing your leads per deal. If you can offer more to a seller, you can sign more contracts, you can get more deals, right? So that is one of them. Next one is the follow-up procedure. Having a follow-up Friday, so your whole team goes through your follow-up process. You have to have you have to have a automated follow-up sequence via email, via text, that will constantly reach out to people. So having a follow-up sequence, having your own follow-up procedure that you're working on with sellers. I tell my whole team, we do a follow-up Friday. So they'll go through and they'll have all the people that they've talked to that are in this follow-up sequence. It's within we call it their book of business. They're going to be tagged as follow-up, and they're going to go in, and every single Friday, they're going to do all their follow-ups and just check in with the seller. And they might not be ready now, but if you keep on building that rapport, when they're ready to pull the trigger, you're going to be there. And most of our deals come from the follow-up. There's about 15 to 20% come from first call close, where you talk to them, get them on the phone, get them back, and then close them. About 15 to 20% come from the first call close. The rest of them come from follow-up. Now, the next one is kind of together, is reviews and BBB. So think about this. If you go to Amazon and you're going to pick a product, right? And you have one product that's cheaper and it has 12 reviews that are 4.5 stars, and you have another one that's a little bit more expensive, or it is more expensive, but it has 2,500 reviews. They're very similar and they're all 4.5, 5-star reviews. Which one are you going to pick? You're probably going to pick to spend a little bit more on the one that's guaranteed has more reviews, because more people have used it and you don't really want to order it and have to get it here, it doesn't work, and then ship it back, right? So you'll actually spend more if there's better reviews. Same thing with a seller. If you have good reviews or a lot of reviews, right, then what happens is a seller will be more apt to do business with you, even though you're potentially at a lower price. So that is critically important. The second thing too is if they go to, definitely have your BBB on your website for sure. Have some sort of BBB reviews or a link to your BBB so you can go back and do that. As Better Business Bureau. And the other thing too is make sure you have pictures of you and your team on the site. So when I'm talking, or my team is talking to a seller, they can take them to the About page, have them scroll down, say, yeah, I'm Renee, I'm Amy, I'm Gia, right? I'm Preston, Heath or whatever. And I can go on there and I can say, oh, here, yeah, that's what I look like. Here's my story. Here's my bio. Here's the stuff like that. Here's what I do. So they're now talking to that person. They can put a picture to a voice to a picture, a face, and they feel more comfortable now that it's a real person. Have you ever bought someone or thought to do business with someone and there's just no presence? You know who they are, right? They have no reviews, they have no pictures, it's just some random site, and you're going to sell your house, right? And that's why you might have a lot of cancellations, which is going to impact closing percentage. So this is, I hope this helps. There's just a couple different things you could do to increase your closing percentage, or not closing percentage, your leads per deal, which will impact your overall revenue. Let me go back here. There you go. And I'll go back to the here and I'll show you this. So going back here. So whether it doesn't matter the amount of leads you get, right? All these numbers impact. So if you have these numbers, you get 50 leads a month. You can still make $326,000 a year working for yourself, just you doing 11 deals a year. And you just dial in. These numbers right here will get you $300,000 a year with these numbers right here. So, look at that right there. You focus on working on bettering your numbers. And now, you want to see something crazy? Check this out. This is what I like looking at right here. What if you do 5,000 leads, right? You 10x that. $32 million. $32 million, right? And all you did, everything's the same, but you 10x your leads. You 10x your leads, and now it's a 14,000% increase by 10xing your leads. Obviously, you're going to have a team of 58 people, right? Acquisition reps. You're going to do 1,000 deals a year, 32. So that's where we're going, right? So we're building obviously a huge team. Do deals nationally all across the entire country, but $32 million operating at a 40 to 50% margin is insane, right? Some pro athletes don't even make that amount of money on what we can do. So the potential is literally astronomical. It's amazing. If you want to learn more about our Syndicate 9 Mastermind and what we do in our Mastermind, it's absolutely phenomenal. Just click the link in the description below. You can talk to either Brian or Shanna, one of my team members here, and I'll explain what we do. We have another event coming up in December. We have events all through 2024. It's going to be amazing. So this is what we talk about, though. How to optimize your business and grow and build, and talk about things like this that will help you achieve more money in the bottom line. So hope this helps. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We're going to start also talk about how to optimize these other numbers. We'll talk about how to increase leads, talk about how to increase average deal size, talk about how to reduce the time frame, and you got to look at the numbers behind the numbers, right? How long does it take to list, right? How long does it take to find a buyer? How long does it take to close? All those things can be optimized so you can basically better your numbers so you can press on the leads, hire more people, and scale it to the next level. So hope this helps. Take care and God bless.
I can't take no loss, yeah. I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground and it go off, yeah. Hit the ground and it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really